my name is Genesis Harper, and when I go to Chicago, I watch my grandma Sharon on Taking It to the Street TV show.
Hi, I'm Genesis Harper, and when I go to Chicago, I like to watch my grandma Sharon on Taking It to the Streets TV show, and you should too.
We've seen nothing like this.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Taking It to the Streets TV show. And I hope everyone is doing well out there. But before I share some information with you, I have to give a shout out to this young lady named Fran. Fran is a young lady who remembers me from way back in the day. And when I say way back in the day, I'm talking about like the late 70s. She remembered me from working at this grocery store on 58th Street, and it was Frank's Groceries back then. I was a cashier, and Frank's Grocery was located right by the L, the L platform came down through that way. So it was right by the L platform, even though the L platform was up. So I want to thank you, Fran, because when you said that, it brought back a lot of memories for me. And I did enjoy working at Frank's Grocery, and I want to get a shout out to everybody who still live around 58th Street. And Frank Grocery was a grocery store, I believe, during that time, was the first store that had a $1 million lottery winner back there during that time. So, and I enjoy working there as a cashier, and I learned a lot. That was the first time I worked as a cashier. And Frank taught me a lot in terms of working the cash register. It's easy to operate once you get a feel of it, okay? And I enjoy the customers who kept coming back and forth to the grocery store. And just the neighborhood itself was a delightful neighborhood, I say, because there was so much stuff going on. You had places where you can go get, some good Chinese food. I mean, it had lounges. If you were one who was drinking alcohol, you can go get you some, alcohol. They had a cleaners, and I remember the young lady who worked at the cleaners, which was across the street. Her name was Angie. So for a lady to tell me, I remember you that far back, I couldn't believe it. So thank you, Fran, for remembering me, because that was a long time ago. And, it did bring back some good memories during that time. So, I want to thank you for saying that to me, talking to me about you remembering me back then. So that is it, okay? Now, I want to share some information with all my diabetics out there. And please, if you're a diabetic, listen. Okay, if you have diabetes or have been diagnosed, okay, then you know what you should be doing. Hopefully, you know what you should be doing. And the main goal is to get it under control, because trust me, the diabetes is not playing, and you got to get it under control, simply because it affects your feet, it affects your eyesight. So it's important, that you do that. Get it under control. Get that diet together. You know, I know it's hard, you know, but eat the food that you should be eating and keep away from the food that you shouldn't. So I'm gonna share with you some things in terms of foot care, because that's important, your feet. Now, you need to wash your feet daily with lukewarm water and soap. That's so important. Also, dry your feet well, especially between the toes. Keep the skin supplied with a moisturizing lotion, but do not apply it between the toes, okay? Also, you know, check your feet for blisters, cuts, or sores. So, you know, make sure you have one of those mirrors where you can see up under your feet, just in case, because you could have a sore or a cut or something, don't even realize that you have it, okay? So make sure you check for blisters, cuts, or sores, and also redness. Now also use an emery board gentle. You got to be gentle when it comes to shaping your toenails. Don't be hard. Don't be hardcore on your toenails, okay? And also, you need to change your socks daily, or stockings, or however it is the socks or stockings, you know, you're wearing, you need to change that daily as well. Also, keep your feet warm and dry. Preferably wear special padded socks, and always wear shoes that fit well. Keep that in mind, okay? And never ever should you ever walk a bare feet, okay? And that's indoors as well as outdoors. Also, examine your shoes every day for cracks, pebbles, nails, or anything that could hurt your feet, okay? You need to take good care of your feet, okay? And also another thing you need to do, take a brisk walk every day. That helps stimulates the circulation, you know, and that's so important with your feet, because the diabetes, when it's out of control, it's not playing. But I would also suggest that you make sure too, you know, if you can go to a foot doctor, let them check your feet out as well. But get it together, because, you know, the diabetes is not messing around with you. So you got to get it under control. So do what you have to do. And, you know, taking a brisk walk every day is not a bad idea, okay? So just keep that in mind. And I wanted to share that with you, because it does affect your eyesight. And it also affects your feet. Keep that in mind. It affects your eyesight and it affects your feet, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, I just want to share some other stuff with you as well, because that's what I do. I believe in sharing stuff. Information could be good for some people, you know, but what is this old saying? Sharing is caring, okay? And, you know, just think about it. This might be a good time to do some house cleaning, getting rid of stuff. Go through them boxes you got taped up that you haven't opened yet. And because you might be surprised what you may find, you know. Go through some of the stuff, like books you may have had that you've read. What are you doing with them now, you know? If you're not keeping or holding them for a collection, you know, then share some of those books, you know, with people you know. And the reason why I'm saying, you know, go through some of them boxes or packages or however way you store your stuff, and just go through it. Do I still want this? Do I still need this? And if not, you know, share with other people. And the reason why I'm saying, because that's what I was doing. And I came across some stuff I had forgot about. And I'm gonna share some of the stuff that I had forgot about with you guys. Okay, Ann Landers. I know the younger folks probably don't know who she was, but Ann Landers was a well-known colonist person. And I came across a letter I had wrote to her, dated, this letter I got from her as a result of me writing to her. It's dated October the 22nd, 1970. 1970. And I was asking her a question. I really don't remember what type of question I may have asked her, but I have an idea what it could have been. And she responded back. She said, "Dear Sharon, to avoid serious entanglements, I suggest you date several people. Your letter suggests that you need a little time to sort out your thoughts and make comparison. I hope you will spread your charm around and for now let the serious stuff go until you are ready for marriage. Good luck and thank you for writing. Sincerely, Ann Landers." So I guess I sent that letter because, I was thinking about, should I marry or should I get married or shouldn't I? I don't know, but when you're young, a lot of times that may cross your mind. Do I want to get married? I don't know. Or should I get married? Or do I want to get married because Sophia got married and Sophia's my friend. She got married, she has a husband, so I want a husband. But anyway, I want to thank Ann Landers. Like I said, this letter that I wrote to her and she responded was October 22nd, 1970, which is a long, long time ago. So that's what I found among stuff, that I had packed away. Also, some more stuff I found is a letter from Christine Houston, and it's dated December 26, 1986. And it's regarding 227 is a program she was involved in. I believe she may have written a story. But she just said, "Dear Sharon, Merry Christmas and a very prosperous and happy New Year. Christine Houston, 12/26/86." And this came from Los Angeles, California. And I would never throw this away. I would never throw it away because to me, 227 was my favorite program. And I remember when I was working, come to find out, her sister was working with me. We were working on the same job, and she was telling us different things, and I said, wow. And so that letter came as a result of her sister telling her that I was a fan of 227. And some of you people may have seen 227. It was a TV show back in the day. Mary Jenkins and I think her name was Sandra, but it was a good TV program, and I believe from just watching that and just talking to her sister, it gave me motivation to start writing. And that's what I started to do. And the thing is, it don't take a whole lot of time. You can just take time depending on your situation. Now, during the time that I started writing stuff is when I was working in Washington, D.C. I was commuting from Chicago to Washington. And when I finished up working in Washington, then I was sent to Detroit. And so just the idea of going back and forth on the plane and train and whatever, transportation, I would sit with my computer and just start writing stuff, and over the years during that time, I had accumulated a lot of writing, but I had the writing in different places. So what I did was start to try to pull together the different bits and pieces of these different stories that I would write, you know, coming back from like Washington back to Chicago. I would be on the night owl that left out of Washington, and it would only be like 3 of us on the plane, and it was so funny. I guess maybe that might have been the motivation for me to start writing stuff, because it would only be like 3 people on the plane, and it would be Congressman Danny Davis, it would be I think he was Alderman Luis Gutierrez, and it would be somebody else sometimes. And it was funny because it was only us 3, but they would still kind of shuffle us to kind of balance the plane, which was funny to me. You know, I think I might have wrote something about that, because I'm saying there's only 3 of us. Why you need to balance the plane at that point? You know, either we gonna sit over here or sit over there. Better yet, can I sit in first class? And you know, so they didn't want to hear that. No, you ain't got a first class ticket or whatever the case may be. But just coming back and forth, I was just writing. I just started writing stuff, you know, and I think that is what motivated me. I'm saying this stuff I can piece together. Maybe I can do a little TV script or something like that. So that's what got me started in writing. And who knows, I did so much writing, you know, I got so much writing, I have to really get it together, because I was writing about different things. I was writing about a TV show I would like to see, you know, stuff like that. So I just started writing. So that was my motivation, you know, going back and forth, and you know, from different cities. And I want to encourage everybody. Everybody has a story. It's just a matter of how you're going to tell your story. Start writing. If you don't have anything that you've written before, just start writing down stuff. Just start writing. I mean, maybe you might have a show that you might want to create and stuff like that. You never know. So just start writing stuff down and getting it together. Because anybody, and this is my personal opinion, there's instructions out there to help you write, you know, a program, you know, TV scripts. They have books and stuff that you can go to the library and show you how to write a TV script and stuff like that. So I want to encourage everybody to start writing. You know, everybody have a story, and your story is different from my story. So let's all write together. But first of all, we still got to do some cleaning. You know, get rid of stuff that you don't need. When I say get rid of stuff you don't need anymore, and I'm sure everybody have a bag or a basket or a box or something they got taped up and they never took the time to open it up. You know, if it's something that you really don't need, give it to somebody else. Give it to Goodwill, you know. Get rid of it, okay? It's not doing you any good taped up in a box. So just, you know, pass it on. Maybe your neighbor can use it or something. But, you know, maybe you can write you a little story about how long you had that taped up box. You know, whatever the case may be. I'm being funny at this point. But, you know, just start doing your writing, because everyone has a story to tell. It's just a matter of how you're going to tell it. And another thing I want to say to my seniors out there, start talking to your grandchildren. And to the grandchildren as well, start talking to your seniors, because they have a lot of stories they can tell, especially if they have been around for a long time. Start recording some of the history. Ask them questions. Grandma, do you remember back in the day, 1960, you know, or whatever year, you know, what was going on during that time, you know? And start recording, tape recording, you know, or write it down on paper, because, you know, or type it, however mode you use for writing and stuff. start recording it, because it's a lot of history that is being wasted. When I say wasted, have not been told, because we're not recording a lot of stuff that we can from our grandparents. And this is for, you know, the grandparents that are still alive. Have so much to talk about, or would talk about, if you just only would start the conversation with them. So keep that in mind, and I just want to, you know, tell you that, you know, it's so much going on out there. And I had another, I'm wondering something else. My last certificate I wanted to show you if we can, it was because of and get involved, you have to get involved, was a certificate I received from Al Gore, who was the Vice President of the United States, for my involvement. And it was a National Partnership for Reinventing Government, and this was presented to me from Vice President Al Gore. And it was interesting, and it was hard work, I have to say. It was hard work, and I enjoyed it, because a lot of jobs nowadays, when you have unions, and I'm saying when you have unions, because during that time when I was working, I was an area vice president of a union, and I was also a EEO investigator. So a lot of times the workers are very instrumental when it comes to redeveloping something, you know. How can you make the process better? So this was a team that I worked on to find out ways that we can make the agency better. And we did accomplish a lot, as far as I'm concerned, we did, in how to make things better. And there was an outside on this team, and I can't remember the name of the agency. It wasn't an agency, it was an outside company who was involved. And I was representing the employees at that point. And sometime, you know, during this reorganization, we had clashes, because what better way to do an operation by talking to your employees? Because even though you may have an outside contractor, the employees know what's best for them. The employees know what works better, you know. So there was some clashes, but we did still end up in agreement what is best for the agency, you know. So that was really interesting, you know, being involved with that particular team. And it was interesting, you know, to meet the former Vice President Al Gore. So, you know, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And so, you know, there's always changes going on with all walks of life, all government agencies, all companies and stuff. So sometimes the companies, as well as the agencies, have to listen to the employees, because the employees know what's best for them and how to make things run smoothly. So I just wanted to share that with you. And other than that, you know, I want everybody to pay attention, stay focused, be aware of your environment at all times, okay? And take care of your seniors, you know. Always check up on your seniors, and if you get an opportunity, talk to them, because there's a lot of history being lost because we're not talking to some of the seniors who can share a lot of information. And I'm saying, simply because if you got seniors around you or in your environment, on your block or whatever, seniors that could be in their 90s, you know, try talking to them. I'm sure they have a story they can tell you. So until the next time, get these stories and share them, okay? Take care.
Hi, my name is Genesis Harper, and when I go to Chicago, I watch my grandma Sharon on Taking It to the Street TV show.
Hi, I'm Genesis Harper, and when I go to Chicago, I like to watch my grandma Sharon on Taking It to the Streets TV show, and you should too.
We've seen nothing like this.